Hey everybody, how are you? You're gonna have to excuse me a little bit. I'm on a little bit different setup tonight because I have been challenged in the past week. So I am having to set some things up a little bit different. So I hope everybody is okay. I hope you all had a really good weekend. My family kept me super busy this weekend. And we've been doing, Christmassy type things. A lot of stuff. So, where was I yesterday? I came here yesterday. If you guys are in members, then you would have seen me yesterday. We had a nice little members live. If you missed it, then get into what is it? Operation Green Chat and get caught up on member lives. We had a really good time and got caught up on some. I guess it's a little bit of tea, a little tea. Sonya made an appearance with the Notorious one, and we talked about it. So if you're interested in that topic, get into membership. And I see one Jennifer. Hey, hey, girl. Hey, happy Saturday, happy Sunday. I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. Um, Let me see what's going on here. Y'all, sis is challenged at this moment. So just bear with me. Um, let's see. I didn't even get the get to call. Yeah, OMG. I didn't even get to the call yet. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we could do it tomorrow. I want to talk about it now because I thought it was really interesting. Um, So the link is in the description box. If you have not yet had a chance to listen to the call that was posted tonight, it is linked in the description box. Phone Calls from Prison, a YouTube channel we love to watch, posted a very interesting call. So this particular call occurred, of course, between Nesto and his boo thing. And boo thing, he said, well, it opens up and he's asking why she did not tell him that Marjorie and Steve had gone viral on some Marjorie had an affair again. Okay. So according to Nesto, he said again. Okay. So I mean, why not, right? I mean, people have affairs and things do happen. So, you think it was disturbing? It was a very they were all over the place. They were having multiple like there was a lot covered in this call. I thought it was very very interesting. Um so take your time, sis. We're here for the shits. Okay, me too. So, let me do this real quick. I feel like I don't want to disconnect this because if I do, it's gonna be a problem. Um, I feel like I'm kind of like, okay, guy, like it's giving. I don't like this mic stand at all. I'll tell you guys more about it. I'm not gonna worry you guys with it at this moment. We have a friend on checking it on Facebook. Let's make sure. Hi, Martinique. Hi, Boo Boo. Hello, Martinique. Shouts out to everybody on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, the love, the whatever you want. Hit something so I know that you're there. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're upon the replay, make sure to hit up the comments and let us know what you're thinking as you're going along. If you're on YouTube, don't hesitate to hit the timestamp button because if you're laughing, we want to laugh too. And when you hit, I love you too. Thank you so much, Martinique. If you are laughing 9 times out of 10, we will be laughing. So make sure if you want us to laugh too, and your comment will mean so much more. Hit the timestamp button. That way we know where to laugh. Okay. Because sometimes you know how you miss stuff. So something, girl, the phone rings, anything. So that way if um You want us to know what was funny in your comment. Um, hit the timestamp button, okay? Anyway, okay, let's get into it, guys. Like I said, Phone Calls from Prison, a YouTube channel we love to watch, dropped a video, and I thought it was super duper interesting. But I'm kind of into this case. When Sonya says, "Well, I don't understand why they're so vested in the case," because it's funny. It's funny. It's interesting. It's juicy, and that's why. I mean, she might not think it is, but I think that's the reason why reality shows are reality showing, right? People are in the same reason why. Let me just bring this home a little bit. The same reason why they were sitting there discussing Steve and Marjorie. Yes, Nesto knows Steve, but he knows her because that's her. That's it. That was his wife, or that was his wife at the time. One of his wives at the time, boss. Okay. Um, and Sonya didn't know him from a hole in the wall, but they were sitting there discussing. Sonya was having feelings. So next time Sonya wants to say something stupid like, I don't understand why they're so vested, Sonya, why don't you take a moment in time and think back to a time when you were heavily vested in someone's business that you didn't know? And that was Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey's, and trying to be with Shirley Strawberry's husband. I think on top of everything, when Sonya figured out that this numbskull she just met was Shirley Strawberry's husband, I think that had a lot to do with it also, because she's like low key a fan. She was very much a fan of Steve Harvey. She couldn't stand Steve Harvey, so it would stand to reason maybe she didn't like Shirley either. But what luck, someone that you're following. We know Sonya was over there in certain communities that talk like there's kind of like a Steve Harvey sector. She was over there. Okay. That was her thing. Okay. I kind of like that I feel a little bit more relaxed because I'm actually holding the mic right now. But um random thought. Okay, just follow me for just a moment. Um, but I still like my hands free. Anyway, Sonia is losing her marbles. Well, and this was right around the time. So the strawberry letter happened on September 11th. Okay. So this was August 29th, and the phone calls had been out for like a short period of time. Okay. Um, Side note, guys, yesterday I was over at Gigi's channel, Pretty Lies and Alibis. Okay, I was like, okay, Pretty Lies and Alibis. I was invited a couple of weeks ago for kind of like an online book release, bloggers have some questions type panel, and I shared it yesterday on my community wall. So if you are so inclined, go support and show Gigi some love over there. It was a nice community. One of the jurors from the Alec Murdaugh trial was there. She is actually the co-author with another of the people who were on a panel, a lady named Shayna, who also has a YouTube channel. So go check it out. You'll hear everything that you need to know. I'm in there towards the end. Kathy from Gossip Rumor and Innuendo, Joel from Surviving the Survivor podcast. There were some true crime podcasts that you might know, and maybe some that you don't. So go check it out. It was very interesting, especially if you like the Alec Murdaugh trial. Then it might be interesting to you. And if you'd never heard of the Alec Murdaugh trial, he's still in a lot of trouble and there's still stuff going on. So he hasn't made it all the way through all of his worries and troubles yet. So rest assured something else will be coming up. Um, Also, there's a whole nother aspect to the trial that is at issue at the moment. And I won't even bother to go into it at this because it's very complicated and doesn't have anything what we do with what we're talking about at the moment. But I wanted to mentioned, if you happen to you love Gigi was very nice, very 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 nice. I felt very welcome, and it was nice to kind of it was a fun experience. So I really appreciated being invited. over there. So yeah, go check it out. I was over at Pretty Lies and Alibis yesterday, so that was fun. Anyway, let's see. Good evening, everybody. Um, guys, we've been trying to get through Christmas shopping, which I'm pretty much done. Now we're just kind of shopping. I hate to say it. Also, we're finishing up Farrah's bedroom. Her furniture's coming in January. So we had to go get some things to finish up her room. Like she's getting a whole entire new bedroom, new mattresses, new bot springs. I mean, she's had what she has currently, she's had since we moved into this house, since we purchased this home. So it's been 5 years. So she went from 8 to 13. So now she's getting like more of a big girl setup, and she's getting a whole, we're going to paint, new carpet, all those things. So we're busy trying to get her room and also paint the hallway and the bathroom in the hallway. So that little section is, you know, so I'll talk to you guys more about it offline. Or, but I was over on Mixed Tiles ordering like a bunch of family pictures. So I want to do kind of like a gallery wall in the hallway now because I think it'll be really nice. So anyway, hi 504. So yes, once again, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Let's get into it. Like I said, phone calls from prison, put up a call. And also, if you did not catch this, okay, so couple things. If this hadn't come up, we were going to do like some hot topics, but I guess we'll do it tomorrow. But if you saw the sentencing of Jamie Komorowski, of course, I'm assuming that you had already been over to phone calls from prison. They put up the calls right after Jamie got sentenced earlier in the week. Okay, like real time call. So if you saw the sentencing of Jamie Komorowski over here, phone calls from prison put up the calls over there. We might react to it if you guys are into it. We saw Jamie get her mind blown when she found out that she was getting basically 25 years. Ma'am looked beside herself. So we saw that and they put up some phone calls. So we hadn't had a chance to react to those, but if you guys want to do that one day this week, we can definitely do that. The shooter in New York City, I know it's not a funny situation at all. It's nothing to laugh at because the leader of the company, the CEO, is now deceased. He was gunned down on the streets of Manhattan, the CEO of United Healthcare. But the pictures that they have been able to procure of the gunman making his way around New York City and just biding time until he was able to shoot his shot, literally. Um, Girl, it's like, my God. Yes, it's absolutely crazy. So we have a lot to talk about, but let's get into this. A nice way to spend a Sunday evening with this one criminal who is still waiting for his day in court, for his due process. We're waiting right there along with him. He has court on December 18th. And the YouTube streets, I'm sure, will be in the house. It seems like, and I could be wrong, that Notorious is trying to wiggle her way back over to Nesto. But the interesting thing that we do know, and we talked about this in members yesterday, Dana J, her adversary, or these two are at odds, and Notorious blogger has a restraining order that was served upon her from another blogger. She's not going to be able to be there if Sir is in the midst, right? As long as that TPO still standing. The last time Notorious was in the courtroom and Dana J showed up, she was asked to leave. So boom. Anyway, let's see. He went to Starbucks, which means he gave. Yes. Hi, Buttons. How are you, boo? Y'all, someone called me evil at work the other day, and I told my spirit wasn't right. Okay, y'all, someone called me evil at work the other day, and told my spirit went right. Girl, that sounds like we need to talk about that on some Dear Fran. Okay. I don't even know. You know what? First of all, we know that that's not correct. Just because someone feels like they can't have their way. Are we doing a Dear Fran right now? I'm feeling like a Dear Fran coming on. Um, just because someone doesn't feel that they're getting what they want from you, some people who are naturally manipulative will put something negative upon you. They will start deflecting. Okay. Um, what that person eats is not, like, you don't have to ingest what they're putting off on you. So rebuke it. Number one, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And since it's Sunday, okay, it's Sunday. Um, you know what to do. You're telling us because you've already worked it out. But being that it's Sunday night and some of you have to go back into the house of hell, which is corporate America, okay, let's talk about it. As a the HR professional that I am, um, be careful the opinions that you allow to settle in on you and consume you. People will deflect on you and put their own negativity on you because you're not moving and you are not doing what they would have for you to do, and you have your own opinions. You're not part of the sheeple, and that's it, that's all. So just keep in mind those things, that because you are an individual, because you are a free thinker, because you are your own person, um this person doesn't like you, and I would report her. Okay. I would take a minute and write down everything that happened. And if you feel so inclined, I would report that person, because that was not appropriate. If that person is your boss or supervisor, I would reach out to me on Instagram and we'll handle that a different way. Um, but I would document it. So, because you never, sometimes you kind of low key find out the people that are coming for you, coming for your job, potentially reporting you behind your back, those type of things. So just be careful. Just be careful and just ha 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 ha. Ha. Oh, really now? Okay. Sis studying you. Okay. Girl, sis studying you. Okay. Um, do you, let me ask you a question. Do you actually respect, and I'm talking wholeheartedly, do you actually respect this person's opinion? And if the answer is no, girl, bitch, please. You know what I'm saying? If this person's word means something to you, um, and you feel like it touched a nerve, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you are kind of like, it's very harsh thing to say, but people say stuff, they don't know, they just, sometimes people say things at the job to get on your nerves. She might just be trying to get under your skin. You have to let that go. This person is new, but because I'm not a follower, people like to gang up on me. Um, we'll do like an HR Dear Friend tomorrow on Love Lies and Lace Fronts. Can you send me any detail that you want for me to know, and we'll talk about it in the morning, because we're getting ready to do this reaction. And if you didn't know, on Love Lies and Lace Fronts, we have a segment called Dear Friend, and you can send me any type of question and I will answer it. But yeah, send me as much information as you want, or if you're not working in the morning, I'll drop the link. You can call in, you can dial in, and we can talk about it. There's definitely ways to resolve this. And is this person being new? um Girl, she could get a nice talking to never do this again, because you are a loyal employee who's been there, I'm assuming, in a leadership role. Um, baby, this would be documented immediately. I would be like, and what? Girl, you better be professional. That is there was no parts of professional that comment. That's not professional at all. Um, there's no parts of anything like that should have came up. Anyway, let me go ahead. Let's get things yeah, don't even internalize that. People sometimes, it was all the way some projecting. Don't worry about that. We don't think that. Okay? Um, give me just a second. Let me check. Let me do a time check. Okay. And all right, let me mark the time in here too so I can put a chapter because someone's going to be like, "Oh my god, I came for a reaction and they're doing a dear Fran." Okay. Let's get over here. Boom. Okay, well maybe we can stay like this. I actually prepared this since they were talking about Steve and everybody and everybody. Um We'll save that for oops. Okay, we'll save that for later. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. All right, let's start it from the beginning. Uh-oh. Just 1 second, guys. Okay. Let's see. I had mom duties, guys. Um okay.
In these two jail calls from August of 2023, Sonya and Nesto talk about Steve and Marjorie Harvey, his CP charges, religion, and more. Take a listen.
Nesto and Sonya are certified idiots. I'm
You didn't
sorry.
tell me that the big news last week.
What was the big news?
The big news was Margie. They had it all on social media that Margie cheated on
They had
Steve
it on
again
social
with
media.
Cook and the bodyguard. It was all
Yeah,
on TV.
I just
You didn't tell me they had it over social media. You didn't tell me this was going viral last week. And they had it all over social media.
I didn't see that. I read something yesterday that he tried to
Woo!
fire his social media publics because they said it was some issues with the marriage. And
Okay, first of all, I remember when this happened last year. There was someone who was working for Steve who basically put something out on Twitter as far as like the worst comedians. Do you guys remember that? I can't remember exactly what happened, but it happened around the time that this whole thing popped off. Steve and Marjorie probably were down bad already. And Steve had a social media person that posted something about like who's the worst comedians or something, and Steve, as a, you know, OG of the comedy circuit, didn't like it or didn't like, you know, whatever. He didn't co-sign, he didn't bless that post, put it that way. That was a post that he probably would rather have not been put out. And he was mad. He got a lot of flack for it. I guess it was a post up, came down type thing. And he was firing. So Steve was having a bad week. Okay. Steve was having a bad week at that moment. And that's when that happened. And then it came up also that that Marjorie had gotten busted out for an affair situation. Okay. A situation. Okay. Remember, like Eric Badu said, I'm in a situation. Okay. So that was that. And I would say I don't know. I mean, I feel like that was pretty much the situation. As far as anything else, I don't know. But I think pretty much almost right after that happened, after that popped off, it was probably about a month or two where it was just a lot of Steve and Marjorie gossip. And the phone calls that came out around that time period didn't help. That's where Steve, in his mind, thought that somebody had put kind of like a social media hit out on him because they just knew someone had planted the story. They just knew that somebody at Fulton County was trying to come for them. Like someone paid someone to do something and come for him. And maybe because maybe that is the type of stuff they do in Hollywood. Um, Steve might know about that. I don't know, but that's clearly not what happened because we know that phone calls from prison received a request to find phone calls that were discussed. I put the video up the other day with Jonathan Salmon saying that there were phone calls and Kevin Majeski saying there were phone calls. I heard and saw those videos. And I also saw a channel called Phone Calls from Prison that was putting up pictures and video on Alec Murdoch, Susan Smith, and I forgot who else, and dropped a comment and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this story?" So we know that there was no social media plot against Steve Harvey. If that's what makes him feel better, then good. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I don't know. I don't know them folks, and them folks definitely don't know me. Okay. So it was kind of a bad couple of months for Steve. And in his mind, he cooked it up that there had to be some sort of leak, some sort of campaign against him to make him look bad and break up his marriage. And then next thing you know, these calls about Shirley, and Shirley's embarrassed, and Shirley was running her mouth about what was going on in Steve's house. And baby, on September 11th, there was the strawberry letter. Okay. So let's get into it. That's with the world that we're in today, it is not hard to connect some dots. Okay.
And I just read that this morning. So, she only married him for his money, so I don't know what he thought. She wasn't attracted to his ass.
Yeah, it went viral last week.
It went viral.
I've been off since they've been talking shit on you, so I've been off of that YouTube.
Oh, okay. You said it was gonna get him. You said they were trying to get at him some kind of way, didn't you?
What case is this? 407? You want to know about 407?
Yeah, 407. And
I sent you some pictures, of some stuff from the internet. Hold on. Order to allow him. Okay, so the only thing that came out was they gave him an order to allow him to withdraw. So they let him withdraw on the 25th. And
he said they gave him an order.
They allowed him to withdraw. So I was trying to see. Okay, so now it doesn't have anybody as your attorney right now. Nothing's listed for your attorney. It's zero. It's just nobody right now. Okay. So, but no, because when I was reading the first of all, the person that they gave the video or whatever they're trying to say.
So they're probably talking about
computer person, right? That's supposed to be able to.
So they're probably talking about Crail withdrawing from, if they had him as the attorney on anything but the financial cases. But Hannah Rondon ended up taking over, and Nesto wanted him to work on the Henry County. They were still trying to get the money's worth out of Crail because why not? He was paid top dollar and really didn't have a lot to do. But Nesto probably talked his money up. He probably used his retainer through phone calls and having Sonya bother Crail all the time, and probably used up his retainer that way, which I still think that there should be money left, but not my problem, not my money. And I'm sure Shirley's not even chasing after that money at all. It's probably money in the wind. But when she's saying, I see where they took him off and there's no attorney, and this is August of 23, I think Hannah Rondon's getting ready to hit the scene. So let's get into this.
So I was trying to see, okay, so now it doesn't have anybody as your attorney right now. Nothing's listed for your attorney. It's zero. It's just nobody right now. Okay. So, but no, because when I was reading the first of all, the person that they gave the video or whatever they're trying to say to supposed to be just some computer person, right? That's supposed to be able to go into a computer and search through and see what's on a computer. He's not a specialist as to say how old a person is. Only a doctor can tell you by looking at a person's body how old a person is, which I already know. If you use computer, everything, they purposely omit shit because we already see how they operate. The shit happened. Whatever's on there happened before you got possession of that computer. That's clear. But the shit that they're trying to say to even try to...
How can she say that anything that happened to the computer happened before he got possession of it? How would you know? What forensics have you seen? Did you have access to that computer before he was arrested? Like, was that the computer y'all played on? Or, like what was, how do you know? Did anyone think that? Like, how do you know? How can you tell? What information do you have, ma'am, that's going to tell you that clearly everything happened before you had the computer? Girl, she doesn't know jack, okay? How is that clear? Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. Let me say one thing. So if you do happen to go over to the Big Jeff podcast, Nothing But the Truth, something like that. The Nothing But the Truth podcast with Big Jeff, Young Thug's dad, Jeffrey Sr. Sonya is caught in a whole lie, and it may not even necessarily be a lie. I think it's just, once again, Sonya doesn't know anything other than I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you to Nesto. If you guys want me to react to the portion of that video where Sonya is, let me know. We talked about it in members, but if you guys who are not in members want us to talk about it this week, we will. Sonya mentioned when Big Jeff asked about Nesto's case and said, does he have any co-defendants? She's like, no. Well, he doesn't have any active co-defendants at this moment, but his co-defendant picked up 16 felonies, boo-boo. Her name is Erica King. That is his co-defendant, and the Cody already is a convicted felon, and she is cooperating with the state, and she's going to be giving all of the evidence. It's like, why is it so hard for this woman to deliver the truth as it pertains to the actual whole truth and nothing but the truth? Like, Sonya, if I hear you say the whole truth and nothing but the truth one more time, my God, like, that's a very important detail. Erica King is his co-defendant. Nesto doesn't get to pick his co-defendants. The prosecutor does. And his co-defendant has already been prosecuted and is going to be a key witness. And if you see on the discovery, they have her computers, they have receipts, they have paperwork, they have all kinds of information that came from Erica King. Okay. She was a paralegal for 10 years in a now defunct practice. Okay.
To say that they're actual minors is bogus, because they're trying to say that the girls were the age between 16 and 17 or something.
Let's just be clear. They're 3 minutes into this call, and they've already jumped from the Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, tea and gossip to the CP pictures. And in between that, it was looking on the docket to see if the attorney was still on there as the attorney of record. And basically she says that at this moment, there is no attorney listed for his case. or that person is no longer listed as the attorney for his case, and then now she is griping about those pictures.
15 and 17, right? So they're trying to say no pubic hair. Well, girls get pubic hairs between the age of 9 and 13. That's when they grow pubic hairs, which means the kid has to be under 9 or under 10 in order for them not to have pubic hairs, which you can clearly see if it's a 10-year-old. Everybody know what a 10-year-old looks like off a rip. Also, when women that grow breasts under that, they start growing breasts at the same age, 9 to 13 years old. By the time they're 13, they have chest. So you can't say that a 17-year-old is ever considered a child to be flat-chested, because 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and 15-year-olds have full breast. So
have full breast
examination to state that their
Girl.
children, his guess of why their
They
children
have full
is out the
breasts.
fucking door. They have to be under 12 years old in order for him to sit there and try to use pubic hair and chest as a validation of why they're minors.
Girl, where do you get your facts?
And develop.
Where do you get your facts?
Early. Not like it was 30 years ago when we did grow chest in the
She's an expert because she feels like she's a mother and she can refer to herself and her prepubescent middle-aged body. And she's raised a daughter, she's got a granddaughter, and she has a off the record stripper kid baby over there to the house. So she's, you know what I mean? As a woman, there are things we know as a woman, but as far as giving a professional reporting as to like a forensic reporting on the images that were retrieved from Mr. Williams' computer. That's, I'm gonna say it like that. Baby, stop it. Can you stop? Can you stop it? On rip? As you would say, can you stop that on rip, please? Okay. My God. All right, let's get back. Let me see what y'all are saying real quick, because the way I'm set up right now, I have to flip to see your comments. Right. She never, girl, prepubescent middle age. Okay. Body. I'm sure someone's going to be mad I said that, but I'm not here to please. I'm here to tell the truth. Okay. I'm here to call it as I sees it and nothing else. Okay. If you have a different opinion, comment down below. Okay. Girl, all opinions will be, or you know what I'm saying? Like, state your piece. Okay. Okay.
11th and 12th grade. They grow chest in elementary school. They grow hair. Like I said, they get their periods in 2nd and 3rd grade now. So and the only way you can sit there and try to say off of a picture that they're minors is if they're damn near 10 years old. If they don't look like they're 10 years old or 11 years old or 13 years old, which those are clearly adolescents, then you got to go with something else to say that they're kids. So you throw that shit out the fucking water with that crap. I strongly believe whatever is on there is adult.
It's like, okay, already.
But they're reaching, of course. Everything's a reach because they're trying to make everything that they find on you a case. So we already know the pattern that they're reaching on everything. So all you got to do is get a pediatrician who knows development of children to state what it is. And this is what's up why old boy didn't go to your preliminary hearing, because he could have threw that shit out, because that would have been like, bring that recording, bring the evidence, bring these videos. How do you gather that this is a child and an adult? And it would have been able. And you would be able to say,
do you guys see at that moment how she just talked right over him? He wanted to say something and she just talked right over him. Also, keep in mind, guys, and some of you may or may not know this already, but at the end of the day, thank you for supporting Black Hourglass. I appreciate you, hun. Thank you, one Jennifer. I appreciate y'all. A bail hearing is a bail hearing. Okay. They are not, you've heard Judge Manning on these hearings. If it is not anything to do with bail, she doesn't want to hear it. All she is there to do is discuss bail. That's it. That's all. All she is there to do is to discuss bail. She's not there to review evidence. She's not there to review whether the case is worthy. She is there to determine if this person meets what they call the Ayala factor and whether this person is fit to be able to get bail. That's it. That's all. That's it. If they meet the criteria for the bail, awesome. If they don't, oh well, you don't get bail. I don't understand how she doesn't understand. So she seems to think people are supposed to tote in a box of evidence, and that's not going to happen. Thank you, Petty Patty. Oh, thank you, Petty Patty. I appreciate that. Please, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Welcome to the channel. We are in the middle of reviewing a jail call. Ernesto Nesto is in jail. He has been sitting 2.5 years now. I don't even have a number count. I'll get you that before we get up out of here. But he's been under some charges for Fulton County for about 2.5 years now, and he is housed over in Cobb, but he is altogether on a Fulton County RICO, and he is talking to his side piece, a very shameless female by the name of Sonya Durham. Okay. Sonya has been on the YouTube streets wearing all kinds of ponytails and sporting muskrat fur collars and things of that nature, trying to look cute, trying to plead his case to the public. But the question comes up, ma'am, who are you? And she says, I'm just a friend. I'm just his friend. I'm his one supporter. All of his support is gone. It's just me out here supporting him. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Okay.
How do you gather that this is a child and an adult?
So,
And it would have been able, and you would have been
Let
able
him
to
talk.
say, what's the data to download? What site did it come off of? What's the IP address? Because you had to be plugged into somebody's Wi-Fi to get it. And all of that shows. Remember, there's a digital footprint to everything you do on your computer. They can find
Girl, she
out
had
where
a whole
you were at,
muskrat
whatever,
jaw
the
on the
site.
other day.
You was at a Starbucks, what Starbucks, if you was at home, what home, all of that shit. All of that.
All of
My
that.
girl, when she used to do her tax fraud shit, she used to go with her computer to all these different locations, and the feds picked up on all of that. They had
one of her Scamiana friends. Okay, so when my Scamiana friend was doing her tax fraud, girl, let me tell you, when the feds closed in on her, they knew where she was plugging in. Clearly she didn't have her own office. She was meeting people out in the world. I hope your Scamiana friend is listening to this right now and is madder than mad at you for talking her business on this YouTube and telling everybody the ins and outs of her misdeeds out here and her scamming ways. It's funny how you know so many scammers, Sonya. Okay.
IP address, everything. Every address
Girl,
she was at that she
Scamiana.
did it at, off her computer, off the Wi-Fi. So all that will come out.
Okay, so it don't show I have a date yet?
Don't you have a date yet?
All I see is. No. Okay, well, hold on. Let's go through all of them. What you eat today?
Had some grits
Well,
today.
she looked like she'd had something to smoke on that podcast.
Yeah, that's what I say. Grits today.
This is nasty. So I was reading, they was talking about Fannie Willis's father. Did you know he was part of the Black Panthers? She was raised by her father.
Can you leave
He was
Fonnie
a Black
alone?
Panther.
No, I know she was from California, though. I know that part.
Yep. And her dad was a Black Panther rolling over in his grave. That bitch don't do nothing for Black people.
And you know what I'm saying? So he's rolling over in his grave. No, your daddy is rolling over in his grave. Fonnie Willis's dad is alive and well. He testified on her behalf at one of her hearings. So, ma'am, you stop lying. You stop spreading misinformation. Fonnie Willis's father is here. Sir is living independent. Sir has, oh, well, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Let me drop some coins. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. The Cash App is flowing. I appreciate that. Thank you for showing me some love. If you want to show some love, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that so much. Fonnie's dad is a lawyer. Absolutely. He testified on her behalf when they had to kind of do those hearings regarding the relationship with her and Nathan Wade. Those hearings appear on my channel, and Sir is on my channel as well. I cannot think of her dad's name, but let's just say Fonnie's dad is alive and well and is managing his business and is very proud of his daughter and all of the things. So yeah. Look at Sonya projecting. That's a perfect example. We were talking earlier about people projecting their negativity. We know Sonya has a very bad relationship with her father before he passed away. Who's rolling in their grave? Who's rolling in there? Who's actually in a grave? Not Fonnie Willis's dad, but yours is. Okay. Like, stop projecting. She's projecting the negativity. Sonya has daddy issues, and I'm not going to go too much further into that, but she has daddy issues, and clearly that's a good example of someone projecting.
Lock 'em
Because
up
what
and
she's
lie.
saying is not even true.
They're talking about her record as a prosecutor, and I know the prosecutor's office how they win most of their cases if they don't get an honest confession
Yes,
or
ma'am. Thank you,
a
PW.
video or an honest eyewitness. It's lies. It's all the rest of it is lies. So.
Well, we're gonna see. Well, you're already on because you out there. We're gonna see this see if they let them folks send it on to the feds or not. You know, they can't send it on, bound it over to the feds.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday, but a bond should be coming up from on a new system.
Really?
Girl, thank you. Thank you, Brown Eyed Girl. I appreciate it. Sonya needs to stop with the lies and stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's 2 lies in the past week, Sonya. Number 1, we need to, you know what? I don't know, maybe someone out there is already fact checking Sonya's lies, or keeping a tally. But just this week, she was over there on Big Jeff's podcast. I'm saying this for the second time. She told Big Jeff that Nesto had no co-defendant, and that's not true. His co-defendant is already convicted, and there is a unidentified co-defendant, which means that he has 2 co-defendants. Hello? If there is an unidentified co-defendant and we know that one co-defendant has already been convicted, then that means that there's 3 people. Hello? And they called that person unidentified co-defendant number 1, which means that if you're going to name them like number 1, maybe there's a number 2. I don't know, but that's one thing. Then she's sitting up here, but this is obviously last year. Her uninformed misinformation ass is sitting up here running and telling Nesto facts that may or may not even be true. Okay. She's out here spreading the fakery news. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I know that because I already went for the new charges already. So there's only 1 charge left. So I should be going up for a bond here.
What's your relate?
It should be.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
So
he got on that TV and told them folks he ain't having no problems.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Did he say that? He made a speech.
Yeah, he did. That's how I found out about it. I saw it on.
Oh, so he went on and said and made a speech to say my marriage is fine, but y'all can't talk about. But your girl couldn't get on there and say shit about you.
I'm trying to. Hey, I'm just saying how the shit go.
Oh no!
I think it went on that show you told me about, the Mexican guy.
You trying to protect that marriage at all costs. That's what Steve's trying to do.
He did it.
Man, she only married you for your money, and you even knew that because that's why when you first met her, she wasn't feeling you because you was broke, and you knew when you got your money up, you can come correct because all she was dating.
Do you hear how much? So they've pivoted back on Steve and Marjorie again. How is it that someone who says that they mind all of their business is so well versed on Marjorie and Steve? Okay. Like at the end of the day, Sonya, you like gossip. You like the tea. That's why you were so happy that people were actually talking about you until you realized that it was going to be a drag session because nobody had respect for mistresses. Okay. Because people see that as, I mean, it's not, I'm sure there is somewhere on the YouTubes for you that will embrace you as a pick me and as someone who is a interrupter. Shirley Strawberry seems like a nice lady. She didn't do anything to me. I'm sure she didn't ask you to go over there and sleep with her trifling ass husband. Okay? If she called you up and said you can sleep with my husband, that would be a whole different story. But at the end of the day, I don't think she invited you to her husband's dick. Okay, I don't think she invited you to it. Okay, Lovejoy, thank you so much, hun. Thank you for supporting. 12 months. Yo, it doesn't even seem like I've had membership over here for a year. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supporting this channel. I appreciate y'all so much.
With drug dealers with money, which means she's not my materialistic person, which all it takes is the next man with either more money or somebody that really captures her, what she actually likes in a person. Because she's only been attracted to money so far, which is empty. To just be attracted to somebody for money, that's not true happiness. It's materialistic happiness, but it's not true happiness.
69, ain't she 60 yet?
And what about it? I think Marjorie just turned 60 this year. And what about it? You're getting ready to be 60. Like, if you are lucky enough, you get to put another year on top of another year on top of another year. What's the big deal? She's it's not even just because she's a beautiful woman, but she is a beautiful lady to me, and I'm sure to many others. And she looks amazing. She looks amazing. She's a very attractive woman. They're a nice looking middle-aged couple. They're just a nice looking couple, period. She definitely gives arm candy to Steve. Steve will say he's an ugly dude all the time. It's Marjorie. And that very well may be true, but at the end of the day, he cleans up nice. I mean, he's always very well groomed and very well dressed. You really can't take that from Steve. You may not love his style, but Sir does put a lot of effort into how he dresses, and he's always clean. And I think they're a nice looking couple. What attracted her to Nesto? You're talking about Shirley. I think that Shirley, I don't know. Girl, he might have been coming there in some nice pleated pants, some nice Ferragamo shoes, you know what I mean? Or some, I don't know, hopefully not Stacey Adams. I'm just joking. He might have been coming in some nice shoes, nicely pressed and dressed. He could have been wearing one of those, a nice shirt and some good cologne and pull up in something convertible. We don't know how Nesto caught her attention, but he might have been driving a little bit of something, and she may have thought he was about something. And then he probably took her out to some dinners, took her to bed, and he might have said, let's do this damn thing. He caught her at work. Hey, Miss Tanya. Hey, boo. We have another friend on Facebook saying hello. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. His conversation, we don't really know what his conversation was like when he was trying to woo Shirley, but I think that was around the time when Shirley got proposed to. I feel like I may have still been listening to Steve Harvey like on my commute into work. And Shirley may have been, let's say 12, 13 years ago when like nephew Tommy and they used to tease her and all that kind of stuff. She may have just really wanted to, lock it down with somebody, find, um, be open to meeting someone who she could do this damn thing with and, enjoy her life. Right. And, I don't know. I mean, we can only speculate. Maybe one day she will let us know. Yeah, he probably wooed her, woo, 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 and love bombed her, and she probably fell for it. I mean, he might have done some good old fashioned courting and being very phony and making her think that what was, but as she peeled back the layers, it's like, wait a second, you got arrested? And then you got arrested again? I mean, at a certain point, she may be gotten herself in so deep. Also, keep in mind there was the association with Panay. There was the association. He was kind of Atlanta. He knew his way around Atlanta, and maybe there were some recommendations, or oh, I know him, or I don't know. Maybe Panay was enough. I'm not sure. But he did, he had those ties within the hair community. And even Gail Bickham, the real estate agent, knew him from his past when he'd had businesses with the wife, Carol. So she knew him from that time period. And maybe he wanted to do business with her then, but she didn't. And then as time went on, she met him again, and she said he had married Shirley Strawberry, and she was using him to purchase the provost coach or whatever. She wanted him to help her find some real estate, even though she was a real estate agent. Doesn't make any sense. Shouts out to Joey. Joey used to bring that point up a lot. It just didn't make sense for her, but I mean, maybe that was the cover for the affair. I don't know. But he says he calls her his business associate, and her story was that she requested him to do, purchase some things and help her find some property. So apparently there was something going on, but I think also there was something else going on, right?
No, you had no court dates. I don't know how old she is. I don't know.
That one's a big.
But that's his fourth marriage. He keeps telling everybody that's his third. That's his fourth marriage. He's been married 4 times, not 3. It was somebody before the first MAR girl, because his wives was Mary, Marjorie, and whatever, Mar something. All his wives.
It's like, Sonya, how do you know so much about Steve Harvey, but you say you don't know anything about Steve Harvey?
You're funny.
Isn't that so? She says I wasn't a fan. How do you know so much of this man's business? That's what I want to know. Like, if you weren't a fan, or you weren't a blogger, or you weren't following even just the tea, you don't necessarily have to be like, I'm not a huge like Tyrese fan, but I know what's going on with Tyrese. Everyone calls him Cryreese on Instagram. He's always crying. He's always telling his business. Or Ray J. I follow Ray J, but I'm not purchasing like all of his products. I don't watch his shows particularly, but when he goes live on some foolishness, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Like, clearly you've been following Steve Harvey's story. And you knew who his wife was when you found when he told you who he was married to. Unlike some of these other women, did you ever notice that like Nesto told this person and that person he was married to this person, and they didn't know who that was, or they were not moved by it, right? How in the world is Sonya following Steve Harvey and keeping up with his shenanigans and his marriage, and you don't know that he has a whole team of people that he does a show with every single day, and he's been working with most of these people in excess of 2 decades? Come on
But
now.
why he was on the trending now thing? Like, why is he trending?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, Miami. Okay.
Find something else to do. We find Steve Harvey and wife Marjorie shut down infidelity rumors. Of course, you're not going to sit there and admit to it because you're not going to leave her.
Right.
So, of course, you're not going to let it be. You're going to just be like, we're going to just deny. The only person that could actually prove it is the people that was in the bed, which would be her and the dude. They probably gave him some hush money to shut up and go away.
Damn.
His name was Roger.
Damn.
Stephen Harvey Sr.
Wow. So they must have called him last week or something, or it's been going on.
7 hours ago. Well, he just fired his social media dude.
That's a gay guy. That's a gay guy.
Shut down infinity rules following reports he cheated with 2 of his staff members.
Yeah. One of them was a cook and one of them was a bodyguard.
Yeah. How hot were they?
They were young boys. I know exactly they are.
So all he gonna have is, now listen, if he got all female staff from here on out, you know it's true.
Yeah, because he had number gay boy when he had the gay boy was dressing him. I remember that. Started him out. And he got rid of all the hard-headed boys and all the men, the gentlemen got rid of them.
Get rid of all the straight ones and then listen to the gay guys.
And he brought them gay guys in. They started dressing them and all that. That's why he was dressing and young-looking and all that. It was gay.
I think, look, I don't know about their sexual orientation, but I think maybe Marjorie had a hand in picking some of the stylists. I don't know. It's not really appropriate to ask people their sexual orientation when they are applying, auditioning, presenting their portfolio and their accomplishments for a job. Okay? If he has full-time stylists or just stylists in general who help him put his outfits and all of his traveling clothes and all of those things together, at the end of the day, you're reviewing people's work and a image that you're trying to project. What their sexual orientation is not really, it doesn't matter at this point. It's their style, it's their personal style, it's the access to the clothing that you want. And I'm sure their organizational skills and how well you two can communicate, who they go, like what anything else in their personal life is really no one's business. It's not theirs to tell you, and it's not yours to ask. So the fact that they're drawing these type of inferences about people that he may have on his payroll to help him with his brand they're so stupid. And at this point, Nesto was still, in name, married to Shirley, and it's just highly inappropriate for him to be discussing his wife's boss with this low on the totem pole, low potential side winch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gay. So how was that working out?
I don't know about that part. Now, that part, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, his ex-wife said he was.
But I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, his ex-wife, Mary, said that the dude is bisexual.
Okay.
She flat out said that he was bisexual and that he made advances on her oldest child, and that when they were out to dinner at somebody's house, what was that person's house they were supposed to be at?
He ain't commented on that shit.
Nope,
didn't he shut his ex-wife's book down? If his ex-wife was saying stuff like that, I am sure no matter what, people have dynamics in their households and relationships. I have no way to validate anything of what Sonya is saying, and half of what Sonya says typically is a lie. At the end of the day, people have very complex relationships. And if Steve's ex-wife was doing a tell-all that included inflammatory accusations of that nature, if what Sonya is saying is accurate, that's what the ex-wife was saying, no wonder he sued her. No wonder he put a stop to her book. Hello? I mean, we do know that there was a situation with the ex-wife who was trying to write a book and tell some things. And at the end of the day, um, it's possible that wasn't her story to tell, whatever it was. So at the end of the day, it's like, girl, she won't stop. She won't stop. She's on some can't stop, won't stop. She just wants to, you know what I'm saying? Like, she just wants to drag Shirley from behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It's not even about Steve Harvey. It's just about how uncomfortable and how much more tragic can I make this situation for this lady that I just cannot stop talking about and dealing with her husband.
He ain't said shit. Right.
Like that man right there. You do not like that.
I don't like how he did her. That was stuff. Just give her what's owed to her.
Do you know her?
Committed, and he had his lawyer trying to have a power of attorney, and then when they got divorced, he took everything.
Nesto loves some gossip. He loved gossiping with Shirley.
She gave him $250,000 of her own money to help his career, and then you can't even give her a quarter. You ain't got to give her half. Shit.
Okay, so hold up. The social media, is that a boy or a man? Did they show that part? Because he got 2 or 3 of them folks now. So, hello? You there? Hello? You just cut off. Yo.
Hello.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Hello.
Okay.
He dead.
Huh?
So I'm watching this car accident.
Oh, okay.
They put a yellow thing on him. Go ahead.
So when white folks say, you need to stop that, Jesus Christ, why do they say that? I never could figure that out.
When they say stop that, Jesus Christ.
You know, something happened like Jesus Christ. Why do white folks say that? You know,
it's like a golly moment. That's all it is. Like golly, they say Jesus Christ. That's something too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know what
I was about to say, everybody says that. Okay.
Yeah. And so many people are so fat they can't get out the car themselves. They got to wait for the firemen to come and get them out because they be trapped. They can't get out. You know what I be watching when I watch these car accidents? And so many people are
So she's one of these who likes to watch traffic light, car accident videos. Girl, you need to go ahead and ride around with Dion then. Dion stays in a car accident. Okay. Anastasia, thank you so much for supporting. You can't wait for the trial. Okay. Girl, you and me both. Okay. Let me drop some coins. Okay. You and me both.
fat. They can't get out the car themselves. They got to wait for the firemen to come and get them out because they be trapped, and they're trapped because they're so fat.
Okay.
How embarrassing!
She's so disgusting.
You're funny. Okay, I'm just trying to get get some of this wisdom out you real quick.
I'm crazy. I already know.
What?
You think I'm crazy? I already know. How did that crazy?
No. Say just crazy. You know.
I'm okay with it.
We have a question. When is the trial? There's a hearing on December 18th, and we're probably going to know more after this hearing. Judge Dunaway said we were going to see more scheduling after this meeting. But his next trial, basically what Judge Dunaway said is that this case is going to be scheduled in his next trial cycle. Dun, dun, dun. It's coming. It's coming. We don't have the dates yet, but it could very well be scheduled next time they go to court. If they make us wait again for another hearing date, I think I'm gonna just like, oh God. But it's possible. It's possible they could start like pre-trial, even though this is pre-trial stuff now, but this is still kind of like preliminary hearings. But they could start like things leading up to trial. So we'll know on December 18th. Hopefully we might get the calendar, but there's a video that I put out a couple of months ago. Well, maybe it's not a couple months ago, maybe a month or so ago. I'll have to bubble it up. But you can also look in the playlist. Judge Dunaway put out a scheduling notice basically, and put up all of the information about what was going to be occurring in the near future. He put out his SOP on like how to get things scheduled, if this happens, if that happens. We talked about it. We did a whole video. So maybe you hadn't seen that yet. If you did, great. If not, just as a refresher, that is basically kind of like we're getting ready to go to trial. Like we're getting ready to get ready, guys. So this particular motions hearing is important. And hopefully after that, we'll see some scheduling for the actual trial. But the one thing that the judge did mention is that it would be in this trial cycle. So unless something comes up to knock it out, he's going to trial this cycle. So as one is ending, I'm sure at this period, and the new year's coming in, Nesto can expect to be going to trial soon. I don't know how long cycles last, but he said that it was going to be in this next trial cycle.
I say it's crazy. Everybody had it. Man, it's a lot of atheists out here. It's a lot of them out there in California too. A lot of them don't believe in a lot of things, and them the most richest people out there.
You got to think about this. You got to think of how many religions are there? They're all saying different things. Who's right? Who's wrong?
Right.
Not only one person can be right because it's 15 religions and they're all saying 15 different things. So what was the one correct way that how it happened? Because everybody got a different story, a different version. So whose truth is the truth?
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Or they all lie.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is this God or is this Jesus? If a child just sitting outside out there, playing in the yard out there, and a stray bullet come from another yard, shoots him and kill him, and they dead. Now what is that? Let me hear that part.
Somebody shooting in the hood.
No.
This is what I would like to know. Why you have kind of a faith type question, and you're talking to someone who is not spiritual at all. She has no religion, and okay, like me personally, I don't care. Like I don't hold that against her. I don't care. So it just lends to how dumb Nesto is, and maybe he just wanted to make small talk, because it's like, why ask her? And it's not to say that someone who doesn't have religion can't have opinions on things like destiny and karma and things of that nature, divine reciprocity, all of those. Like, I don't know, I just don't understand. Like, hey, we got 5 more minutes. Let me ask you, if a child randomly is unalive, what is that? Like, does he just want, like, I wonder, like, why? You're weird.
No, I'm talking
What do you think it is?
innocent
You said,
bystander.
okay, right. So if a person happened to get shot and killed, that could be somebody's karma.
Oh, okay.
Because your kid can get it. So the mother could have did something, the father could have did something, the grandparent, somebody that loved that child could have did something foul and stuff, and that's their karma.
He's
The
stupid.
child got it.
That ain't making no sense to me, but okay.
Yes, they do. They do. I mean, it could just be a freak accident
I'm
like
just
that
trying to
happens.
figure out
You
how
got freak accidents, and you got. I believe in karma. I believe when people out there do stuff shit deliberately, that you gonna get your karma. You gonna get that shit back.
Okay, well,
So if you don't, and that's why I treat everybody well, and I don't know. I don't nobody over. I don't nobody over.
He's got a very immature
a lot of people over. That's a
mindset.
lot of people. So I'm just saying that they could just be talking regular. They say somebody over too, right? They could be bad mouths about it, right? They could stop somebody else from getting their blessing, right? All that's karma, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're not a perfect angel across the board, if you do little shit, you get little karma, I guess. If you do big shit, you get big karma.
Yeah, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Same shit. Okay, give you an example. What if the person ain't around, the father ain't around, the mom ain't around, okay? The child want to go stay with an orphan's home, and the same thing happened to them. They mind their own business, enjoying the freedom of land with their new family, and get shot or killed or ran from the cold. Now, where did karma come from that?
You got shot, killed, I'm in the over.
Yeah. I mean, for real,
she's laughing at him.
Now, where did karma come from that?
You got shot, killed, I'm in the over.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what he said.
That's what's going on out here.
Look, ouch. Again, okay, so you're saying because if the parents don't care about the kid, that wouldn't be their karma because they let the kid go, so they don't love the kid.
Well, or the kid got taken away, or whatever, however the scenario go. What I'm saying is, they are nowhere around the parent. Okay, now give
you don't have to be around the parent.
Okay.
I just feel like if it's everybody gets their karma, and it could be directly, it could be on you directly, or it could be indirectly. So it can happen to you, or it can happen to a person that you care about.
All right, but this is not.
Do you imagine these two people on a road trip with like a map and no like Siri or Cortana or Alexa or whomever, no app, no map app, and they actually have to use like a Rand McNally book. These two, he doesn't know how to ask a question, and she doesn't know how to answer shit.
Religious battles. Let's make sure we get this clear.
No, that's not. Well, karma is not religious. I don't think karma is religious. That's just.
No, I'm finna get past that. I'm past that because when you ask a question for me, I don't have to be stuck on it. So we'll move on.
Mm-hmm. Move on, boo. Move on, boo. You got some real nice lips.
Okay.
You got some real nice lips.
Thank you. So here, now you don't believe in God, but you believe in voodoo.
So I believe in voodoo.
Okay,
witchcraft.
You said that. You said it, voodoo. You said it.
So, right, because from being around the Haitians do a lot of voodoo witchcraft.
You know, as a Haitian, I just have to interject here. No, we don't. There are people in all over the world who practice voodoo type witchcraft, and that's their business. All Haitians do not, and we know that. All of anything don't do everything, okay? But according to her, a lot of Haitians do witchcraft. This one does not, okay? And but girl, she's a mess. Now all of a sudden she knows a bunch of Haitians. Okay.
They do a lot of that shit. And I only believe what I see.
Okay, what you saw?
So, right. So I only believe what I see.
Okay.
That's why I say I believe in karma, because just like I told you, my sister, how she used to do me while we was growing up. She used to always try to, tell on me, get me whooped. And then when I got grown, she went to the police and lied on me, and all trying to be greedy, greedy, greedy. And then boom, she had her last child, and he was born. So that's her karma. And my sister was like, damn. I said, no, that's her karma.
Wait a second.
So that's her karma.
Ooh.
And my child, and he was born. So that's her karma. And
I hope your sister never talks to you again. Hold on, let's run that back just in case Sissy Pooh is in the bushes, or somebody who is watching who knows Sonya's people in Ohio or Florida or Georgia, wherever these people reside, and someone can get a kite back to Sissy Pooh that your sister said that because you were mean to her, you lied on her, you called the popos on her, you had her catch a case, all of those things. Your child was born afflicted with something of which I really don't know. We haven't heard her mention that. And the wonderful, nice people at Phone Calls from Prison redacted it to save the dragation of Sonya, because we would never drag a child, even if the child is grown at this point, or if the child didn't make it. But she said born, right? So if the child was born, I don't know. It's really unfortunate that Sonya is such a nasty, evil woman to talk on her nephew in such a manner. And she wants people to give her the utmost respect. But you feel like because your sister called you out for the criminal that you were, the felon, the Ohio Women's Penitentiary resident that you were with a felony, you're mad because she called you out. So you're saying her karma was her child being born a certain way.
And I only believe what I see.
Okay, what you saw?
So, right. So I only believe what I see.
Okay.
That's why I say I believe in karma, because just like I told you, my sister, how she used to do me while we was growing up. She used to always try to, tell on me, get me whooped. And then when I got grown, she went to the police and lied on me, and all trying to be greedy, greedy, greedy. And then boom, she had her last child, and he was born. So that's her karma. And my sister was like, damn. I said, no, that's her karma.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So you say you believe in voodoo, okay? Because I was talking to a dude the other day who was sitting outside in the lobby putting out chains on and getting us taken to court. So he was telling me from Alabama, and then saying that this girl had put some roots on her and shit. Now, it was funny, but I want to think about my earlier years. I've seen that shit happen before now. I've seen them put that shit on you. So I'm saying to myself, did a motherfucker put some roots on my head? Because how am I sitting in this goddamn jailhouse like this here? I'm trying to dissect all this shit. Or I could have been saved. I could have been dead.
So he really thinks he's innocent. He doesn't know how he got there. One day he had some charges. So he thinks someone put some roots on him. So you don't know any of these people. You don't know any, which we know he knows these people. Because he has a story about everybody. Wasn't it funny that Big Jeff says story as story, just like Nesto? He was still snickering. Yes, he sure was. He was giving us Dudley Do Right. Okay. So I guess her getting pow-powed was her karma. Where's my horn? Girl. Okay, girl. Her
Been saved.
Her slow bunny ass.
Anything.
Or this whole thing is just waking you up and slowing your ass down and telling you need to rethink some things, because you only got this many years left, and the direction that you're headed in is the wrong direction. So what you need to start doing is everything that you did to get, which was all out here trying to help people, all of these trafficking women, all of that stuff need to come to a cease because all of that shit just caused a bigger problem that you would have never seen coming. It does, man. Me and my brother was talking about that yesterday, talking about bitches.
Y'all talking about your sister?
No, we was talking about the bitches dating, and the drama. So I was watching on Instagram this white dude. This was from the '90s, so it's an old video. But he did 5 years in prison for not paying child support, saying the paternity court found out the kid wasn't even his, and then the girl was like, "Do you?" And the judge was like, "Do you know who the father is?" She was like, "Yeah, I still talk to him." And then he was like, "What?" He was like, "I just spent 5 years in jail, and you're sitting here saying you know who the father was." And he was like telling the judge, he was like, "Can she be convicted of something or charged with a crime?" And she was like, "Why? What did I do?" And I'm sitting here like, this bitch, like, you just ruined this man's life. You made him think that the child was his, which is first crime, and it's emotionally attached to something that's not his. Then you're making him pay child support, which he couldn't afford, which caused him to go to jail for 5 years. Now y'all go to court, he found out that after all of that, the kid is not even his, and you knew it.
These men need to stop laying up in putty cat and ejaculating. Can I just say that on a Sunday? Stop laying up in putty cat that's not your wife. Stop trying to impregnate girlfriends. Don't give husband benefits to not your wife. Stop spreading your seed around town, and you don't have to worry about stuff like that. I give 0 fucks to a man who could be the father. If you laid up with that chick to the point where she could put a baby on you, tough. Is that mean? Men need to be more responsible with their semen and their penis. If you're going to be more responsible, then you don't have, you know how some men are like, nah, it's not mine. It's not mine. I have a lot of respect for that type of a man. I have a lot of respect for a man who knows where he has been and where he has not been protected. I can respect a man like that. If you are being subjected to 5011 paternity tests, man, you deserve it. And your checkbook deserves it. Okay. And that should be a lesson to you to stop spreading your seed all around town. You know, didn't BBD say you can't trust a big butt and a smile? I can't vouch for all these women out here. I cannot. But what I can vouch for is where I've been and where I have not. And as an individual, you got to be an adult. So if sir got hooked for a baby and then didn't pay the child support and then found out that the baby wasn't his, he should feel like the asshole that he was when he couldn't stand up and say it didn't happen, or I never did it like that, or there's no way that can be my kid, or that baby don't look like me. That baby don't look like me. Stop running to the hospital to sign paperwork and you don't have a DNA test. Stop having sex with no protection. Stop being a whore. Okay? That goes for men and women. Okay? Period. We don't really care about that type of story, Sonya. Somebody who's stupid enough to get a baby put on them and spend 5 years because they wouldn't pay the child support. That's on some, oh well. I don't feel bad.
You knew
really
it?
Don't.
Like, what the? I'd have strangled that bitch in court. I'd have called a case in court. Well, now I'm going to jail for real.
Damn.
I'd choke her ass out. I would choke. How long would it take to choke her out? 3 minutes. That's all I need. 3 minutes.
They got that new shit now where, you know, you got to, I don't know when they pass that law.
It should be a DNA, right, before you sign a birth certificate. Yeah, everybody needs to take a test.
Look, no. Let's say it like this. There should, if you are two single people, if you feel like you need to take a DNA test, if you're not sure, then yes, they should do that at the hospital. Take the samples as, maybe as soon as you possibly can type thing. But if you got George Simpleton who is running around and he wants this lady to be his lady so bad, and she is juicing him for his cash, and she don't really like him like that, but she feels like she's being like, she wants to nab this guy because he's a good earner, he seems like he might be a nice guy type thing, and you think he'd be a good father or he's gonna take care of you, and you get caught out there in the fact that no, he's going to be cheap, he's not going to take care of his kid. That's your fault if you ran up to the hospital to go sign paperwork on a baby that you're not even sure is yours. Okay? That's if you wait for the court system to come find you, they're going to do a DNA. Only reason why this person had child support was because he probably ran up there and went and signed the paperwork. He went and signed the birth certificate. If you go run up there and sign the birth certificate with no DNA test, some states don't care. You can get a DNA test all you want. There are states out there that if you sign that birth certificate, that's your baby.
Prove it. Because in Detroit, this one guy was not the father. He found out through DNA he wasn't the father, but he signed a birth certificate. So stupid ass Detroit courts was trying to make him still pay child support. Just like how Marjorie did with Steve, with that shit, her slick ass talking about adopt my kids. Why the f*** you gotta adopt your kids when they got fathers that's in their lives? You don't do that. You do that when there's no father in the life. But you got two men that's actively in your children's lives, but you want Steve to adopt.
He's very dark,
so they can have a name, so they can have the connections. So if anything happened, they're in the will. Like, it was all a fucking money move.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
he was just so fucking stupid and in love. He's like, okay, what do I sign? Like, you're dumb. And what you're doing is now you're
look. Leave George Simpleton alone. If George wanted to keep the peace and see his baby, and sis had a big butt and a smile, and he was happy with her, she probably played him. Clearly, she played him. Hey, Dawn. Shouts out to everybody on Facebook. Clearly she played him, and at the end of the day, not your business. But she's trying to tie this into Marjorie. Marjorie is one of these women who knows how to make money moves with her relationships. Marjorie is one of these women who maybe didn't have to really do too much because she's been attractive. And where some of us are making money moves in corporate America and getting degrees and certifications and all kinds of things and moving up one way, sis learned how to move up a different way. So she played the marriage market and mommy market. Okay. If George Simpleton wants to sign off on a birth certificate, let him.
Your kids got a split shit with these random kids.
Don't feel sorry for
them. Your actual blood kids. And I'd have been like, I hope them motherfuckers take care of you when you get old and sick. Have her kids take care of you. Because I'm not doing shit. Because there was no need for you to adopt them.
She has
now
so
we
many
gotta
feelings.
Split everything among, us and them.
I mean,
like, that's a slap in the face on your real.
Does she not have a lot of feelings about Marjorie and Steve? Like, we knew she had feelings about Marjorie and Steve, but this is kind of interesting. She got a lot to say. And keep in mind, doesn't it say clip on here? So this is not like, girl, clip 2, clip 1. So there's stuff we did not hear. I don't know how much longer the call is, but it's clip 1, clip 2 versus call 1, call 2, right? So damn. Damn, Sonya.
Real kids.
That is a slap in the face.
Hell yeah, that's a slap in. And you didn't even raise them. You fucking abandoned your children. You didn't come back around to your son was 16. That's when you came in their life. When you got so popular, it had to be a good look. So let me go ahead and round up the kids and act like daddy of the year. That's why I don't like his ass. Like it's
Okay.
bastard. Bastard.
You hell, ain't you? You hell.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
You hell, ain't you?
Probably say
You
the same thing about
hell.
me. They probably thought shit about me, what they probably already did, but it's okay.
He's so silly.
Yeah, I
Live
mean,
and learn. That's
hello.
all you can do in life
Nesto
is
want
live
me
and learn
better.
and be right by people. That's all you can do is be right by people because karma's a motherfucker. Even if you don't, I don't believe in heaven and hell. But if there is such a place, which no one's went there and came back and described it, if you treat everybody like you're supposed to and respect everybody, then you don't have no worries about if there is a heaven and hell, going to it. If you out here filing,
I got a question.
Out here filing stuff,
Okay,
then deal with it.
I got another question. Now they went all the way to space up there. Have they met anybody look like God yet?
Do they make people that look like what?
Like a higher power God. Have anybody met God up there?
No one's met nobody, no God. That's why there's no description of them or her.
These two people are dumb.
Now,
have you ever got a description of them?
Hold on,
how the person look?
They say, hold on. There you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine sitting at a bar with you.
Look, this is what I want to remind everybody. Everybody who's here right now, take a moment to just remember we're listening to a jail phone call. This is someone who has spent most of his life in and out of incarceration situations between jail and prison, fed time, state time, city county time. Okay. This is a jail phone. This guy is not a scholar nor a gentleman. Okay. And sis is a mistress. She's a mistress side chick. And this is about the dumbest phone call. This is on one of the lowest levels of intellect I feel like I have ever heard. So I just want to remind you guys where we are right now. We are in Cobb County Jail listening to a mistress talk to someone else's husband. And it's just absolutely insane.
I think we had a conversation before on the RV.
I ain't finished talking. Okay.
Oh, yeah, heaven's outer space, right?
I gotta get this. I gotta get this shit clear out of my
Girl,
head.
dummies.
So
A bunch
what
of
you're saying
dummies.
is that right now, them folks ain't came with no new development. That there's a higher being, a higher power on another planet, a space. They done been in space. They done been in all these different places and different continents. They ain't found nothing that makes this world tick. That's what you're saying.
So he must not realize when the space shuttle goes up, or when it used to, they're going on expeditions to pick up rocks, collect gases, observe the galaxy, play around with something that they don't want to play with on Earth, and mess around with gravity, just all of the many things, moonwalk, literally. Are you thinking that they are going on truth finding missions to find the Lord? You think that the space NASA is engaging in religious crusades to find God? Is that what they're doing?
They didn't see anything that this world did. What?
That make this world tick. The people, the animals, the creatures, all that. What makes this world tick?
We're trying to go back to the beginning to how everything was developed and found and all of that.
How did it
These two are dumber than dumb.
I'm sure, I don't know. I've never researched that far back because you got to go all the way back to the dinosaurs. And you got to go back a billion fucking years if you're trying to really go back.
Sonya, you really need to pack up and go back to Miami, or and claim your rightful position as old Miami, or go back to Ohio, honey, because you are literally washed up. Like you, ma'am. This is really sad.
the beginning.
Okay, well, I got a question.
But then there's evolution where they said it came from, we evolved out of animals. They're trying to say it was an evolution. That humans evolved from animals.
Do you believe that?
I don't think that far back because it's before all my relatives, so I don't really know.
She doesn't think that far back because it's above, like, she can't even, her eyeballs start rolling. She can't think of anything outside of the invention of edge control. If it predates edge control, she has put it out of her mind. She doesn't want to know anything about it. Is there a ponytail attached to that? Can I get to a hair store? Was there hair stores back then? If not, I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
I don't go back. I don't go back past slavery. I go from slavery. Let's go 400 years and then go forward.
Okay.
Anything that happened before slavery, I don't really concern myself with.
Okay, so I got a question. Okay, they say first human was Adam and Eve. Now, Adam and Eve.
That's the rumor.
Okay, there you go. Hearsay. How did Adam and Eve come up with all these people? I just want to hear that for. Okay, how did Adam?
If that is the case, we're all related. Think about it. If Adam and Eve was the start, then we're all related.
Okay.
We're all related.
Okay. So how did
Adam and Eve is everybody's great grandma and grandpa.
Okay, so now I'm gonna say, so what color was Adam and Eve? Because
so
all these different people.
They're saying the first person was a black woman, and everybody evolved from the black woman. That's what I heard. I heard it was a black woman, a black female, and started in Africa, and everybody evolved from the black female. That was supposed to be the Chinese. Everybody, the white people, everybody evolved out of and the different climate was, I don't know how everybody left Africa and went to different places and ended up squinting their eyes, and then that became their thing. But the thing of it is how does it turn genetic? So if your eyes were actually normal eyes, and because of the climate or the place that you're in, you squinting, how does your kid come out with squinty eyes? Because
y'all, I'm speechless. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, my God. My God. These two really are, this is about the dumbest conversation I've heard these two have. Like, it's been very surface dumb for a long time, but I'm like, damn, y'all stupid. Really? And so immature with it. You know what I mean? It's just like, my God, really? Is this what mid 50s to 60-year-olds actually, like, this is actually some grown folks? They really don't. Nesto really acts like he doesn't know anything. And I don't know if he's just trying to engage her in conversation and he's serious, but I feel like, I'm like, you cannot be serious. Really? Mm-mm-mm.
That's genetic.
Thank you.
All right? Again, so everything is just, that's why I don't go further back in slavery, because I ain't got time to be thinking about how to fuck this came and how to, and all that. I go all the way back to slavery and forward. Everything beyond that is just 500 to a million years too deep into who cares.
Got another question. Now, the Jews and all these people was slaved and killed and journeyed. The Nazis took all the Jews and dug a hole and throw their body in the hole and all that shit. Now, what make another man do another man like that? I'm really trying to understand that part.
I just can't really believe that she sat up here and entertained these questions. I would be so frustrated with this line of questioning. And I'm just really, I don't know. This is weird. And I guess he'd been in jail now, what, almost a whole entire year over a year at this point. So he's 13 months in at this point, or maybe almost 14 months. It's like, sir, really?
They'll do that shit. It's just different. And if you got wicked people out here that only cares about themselves, your life means nothing. Exactly. Look at you. Your life means nothing to them. The fact that they're fucking your life over and everybody that care about you on top of that, all for a career situation, it's the same thing. It's just different levels of
Girl, edge control and silver
karma. Remember,
packets.
you could
Okay.
be a bad person, but not get the karma. Your kids could get your karma. Your grandkids could get your karma. I could be you know what I'm saying, a good person, but my father was up, so I could be getting his karma.
Okay,
You know.
so what about the marriage? So what about the marriage? About the karma with that? Let me hear that part.
What about the marriage?
The marriage. If you marry somebody, does that go to the husband or the wife, or something being happening because of some shit they did, or something you did? Let me hear that part.
Your karma could transfer
Let me
to
hear that
anybody that
part.
you care about. It can be yourself or anybody you care about. So that's how it affects you and hurts you.
Oh,
So if somebody you care about dies, you're hurt.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And sometimes, like how Jennifer Hudson's sister's boyfriend got her, he killed her mother, her brother, and her son, and left her alive to suffer. Jennifer Hudson, the singer, you know Jennifer Hudson, the singer.
Oh, y'all
Her
forgot about
sister's,
that shit.
yeah, her sister's ex-wife. So he got her like that. Instead of killing you, I'm going to kill everybody you love and leave you alive to suffer the loss of your family.
Damn.
And she's got that. She got
My
to live
goodness.
with that the rest of her life. And that's worse than if he had just killed her by killing everybody that she loved and left her alive. She got to live every day. I miss my mother, brother, child. He killed them. You know, what would they have been today? That's a pain I would never want. I love you. Come in the morning.
Pain in there. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pain right there. But that was a sweet revenge.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
My God. Okay. Y'all. Where can I ask you on some keep your legs close to married men? What's the karma with that? Sonya, if you're in the bushes, what is the karma with you being making yourself available and all of the shenanigans that you've had with Nesto? What's the karma? What's the karma on that? Can you speak on that? Okay. Did she say, girl, that was a sweet she did say that. She sure did. Yes. She's duplicitous. How do you talk about that and slip in and I love you? Because she has trained herself to be able to be on any topic and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. That's what her ex was trying to do to her. Okay. Jennifer Hudson's girl. Let me tell you, I heard, so it's not even I heard a story. I was watching something. I should show it to you guys. This was the craziest story. And this was crazy, y'all. Let me see if I can find it. This just happened yesterday in Florida. It was crazy. Let me see if I can find it. That call just went up and over my head, just like, make it go away, Lord. Make it go away. I don't even want to think about it anymore. And just like that, it's gone. I'm just kidding. Let me see if I can find this. Man. Let me see. Was this yesterday? No. It literally happened. Okay, so let me try and tell you guys what happened. Is this it right here? Girl, Okay, so it was 2 days ago, but if I saw the press conference. I see a news story over here, but I would love to show you guys the press conference because it's crazy. There was a lady who had been dating this guy. Well, okay, there was a lady and her boyfriend. They had a son together. They lived together for like 18 years and they'd broken up and they had a tumultuous, toxic relationship. Anyway, they broke up and Sir was stalking her. Okay. And let me pull up the news story. I don't see the news conference. I wish maybe if I click on it, it'll show me the news conference. It was crazy. Oh, this it? This is it right here. Okay. Y'all. Okay. Anyway, ma'am met a new guy on Tinder or a dating app. She had just met him a couple of weeks ago. They had gone out on a date. She took him to her house. Hold on a second. Let me pull up. I'm like, ooh, but I don't even want to spoiler alert it. Let me show you guys. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's very sad what happened. So I don't know if any of you guys are down in the area. This is in Seminole County, so this is like in between like Orange County. So right outside of Orlando. So this house right here. So the lady who lived in this house had been in a relationship for 18 years with her boyfriend. Her and the boyfriend broke up. He had been stalking her behind the scenes. They had a very tumultuous, toxic relationship, as I already stated. Anyway, in the past month, she met a guy on a dating app and they went on out for an evening. She had one son. Son was home and came home from her date. Homeboy was asleep with ma'am in the bed, right? Somewhere in the middle of the night, let's say around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, they're awakened to glass. Sir, 18-year boyfriend, broke in the house. Girl, broke in the house and had a knife and started commencing to, okay, Linda, they said 30, 40, 50. He said he didn't even know. He said it could have been 70. Okay. Sir, who was in the bed from the dating app, he got stabbed in the leg trying to interfere and took his butt right on outside, ran to a neighbor to call the police. Son, by the grace of God, was asleep. Okay. Daddy, aka boyfriend, the daddy, speeds off in his vehicle to flee the scene, and they said was probably going upwards of 100 miles an hour. Girl went off the road and fatality, and all of it unfolded. Let me let y'all listen to this press conference. It was like I just happened to click on this. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Okay. You got to hear the sheriff try to explain in how this happened, how this whole thing went down. Okay. The first 10 minutes they're waiting for the sheriff to pull up, but you could see a nice view of the home. This is a nice home. They've got a big old barn style garage in the back, you know. I haven't even had a chance to look these people up yet to see what their Facebooks were saying and doing, but let's maybe the news story will show something, but this is gonna be, let's watch a little bit of this, but that's basically the story. Everybody, well, the boyfriend of 18 years died, and the mommy, aka ex-girlfriend, passed away, obviously, of the wounds that she sustained from his breaking in and coming for her, and the child was okay. He's a 16-year-old, but I'm sure he's very much, obviously traumatized by this whole thing happening while he was sleeping. Big old that man was probably like, "Oh, and you gonna have someone in my house." I don't know if that's his house or not, but they were together for 18 years. So my assumption is he had something to do with that home. And this lady had a man all up in the house in the bed. And baby, they both had their last day 2 days ago. It's very sad. He looks like he don't even know where to start. Okay.
So at around 12:30 this morning, the Seminole County Sheriff's Office received an emergency call at the location behind us that a stabbing had occurred. From 12:30 this morning, we've been conducting a murder investigation into the stabbing death of Kristen Stevens, 40-year-old female, obviously, who lived at the location. The initial report came in as somebody who was at the location fled to a neighboring home, called 911. Again, that was about 12:45. The call came in. Deputies responded nearly 4 minutes later at the location. Responded at the location, immediately came in contact with a male who was later identified as a 16-year-old male who is an occupant of the home, the son of the victim, and not involved in the crime. A report was given that another male suspect who has not been publicly identified yet was stabbed in the leg, went to a neighbor's home, report what had happened. His report is that around 12:30 in the morning, a hammer or a breaking of a glass in the master bedroom. There's two French doors. The French doors are made of glass. There was a smashing of the window. There was a hammer located on the inside of the residence, and he awoke in the bed with the victim to another male on top of her, stabbing her what appeared to be a knife.
Let me tell you something. People should be very afraid. Okay. These men are, he had no right to break in the home, but some men will lose it when you break up with them. And I think there was already some DV anyway. She got on the dating app, replaced him quickly, and was, trying to move on with her life, had someone laid up in the bed. You see how these bushes are in the back. You see how well manicured this place is. Sir was probably losing his mind. Do you see that garage?
He attempted to kick the perpetrator off. While he was kicking the perpetrator off, was stabbed in the upper portion of the leg one time, realized that he was not prepared to address it, fled out that same door that was the point of entry of the crime, ran to the neighbor's house, called 911. Deputies arrived, cleared the house, immediately came in contact with the 16-year-old, identified that he was not involved, and as they searched the house, they found Kristen Stevens on the floor of the bedroom, deceased, appeared to be stabbed multiple times, up to, it was a horrific scene, probably up to 20, 30, up to 70 times, stabbed what appeared to be a kitchen knife that was located next to her body at the location. It did not take long to find out that the perpetrator was her estranged boyfriend of a long time, one that she had a child in common. The 16-year-old is the biological son of both the victim of the crime here, the female victim, as well as the perpetrator of the crime that was at the location. Their history has been a long history over about an 18-year period of domestic violence and injunctions dating back to 2014, where in Orange County, Kristen had filed for an injunction alleging a strangulation, other types of domestic related incidents. That went to court there. There was an injunction filed in Orange County. There were, again, in 2022 was a domestic violence call that occurred when they were traveling back from a boating incident at the coast. Deputies responded to the location and ultimately made an arrest on Kristen as the perpetrator after she had scratched the face of the estranged boyfriend, James Lindsay. James is a 42-year-old. Our victim, Kristen, is a 40-year-old. She was then the suspect in that crime. More recently, on November 6th, the early morning hours of November 6th, she was again a victim of a battery here, where deputies responded after allegations that he climbed on top of her as they were living here together. Ultimately, an altercation ensued. She had a bruise to her face, had a bruise to her leg, and ultimately he was arrested for domestic violence at the time. A temporary injunction was issued for her protection. Ultimately, a final injunction was issued on November 20th. And a part of that injunction was he was to surrender 21 firearms and all ammunition that he had in his possession, which he complied with.
21 firearms.
Deputies who made the arrest petitioned, as we typically do in domestic violence cases, to have an increased bond amount as well as electronic monitoring placed upon the suspect at the time. That went to the court. The judge that proceeded over the case made the decision not to impose electronic monitoring. So the suspect at this time did not wear an ankle bracelet to track his whereabouts, and then ultimately was given a $1,000 bond, later bonded out. Ultimately, there were two other reports that came into the sheriff's office, not domestic related, more so with Kristen making allegations of financial involvement, that James was getting into a bank account or trying to get into a bank account on a business that she was operating. What we know what happened with James is, as deputies were arriving and as the second victim, who has not been identified because of martial law, fled from the area, he also fled in his vehicle, a black Chrysler 300. He left the area, went out of this neighborhood before deputies arrived, ultimately got on Fort Christmas Road, and it looks like lost control of his vehicle in excess of 100 miles per hour, just miles away from here in Orange County. A case in the early morning hours that many of you had reported on, that the Florida Highway Patrol was investigating, that it was a single vehicle fatality where the driver was ejected from the vehicle. That driver was indeed James, that was leaving and fleeing the scene from right here.
Can you believe that? I was like, oh my God. I mean, just for the person, the guy coming to spend the night, the new friend, he may not have even, girl, James gone. Okay. He may not have even known about James. He might have been like, oh, look, this lady's got a nice house. Okay. She got one son. She's 40. Let me, you know what I'm saying? She's, mature and, got it going on. Okay. Let me show you right here, girl. Look at James. Girl. Hold on. Can y'all see this? Wait, let me get to this tab. Did I take the thing down? I sure did. Hold on, guys. Y'all, look at James. Baby. Look at James. That's one of his mugshots. Obviously, he doesn't have a mugshot for what just happened because he did not make it. He took off from the scene and did not, he took himself off the road. Let me see what happened. But yeah, unfortunately, the son is 16 years old. He's, I'm assuming, hopefully there is some family. The boyfriend later died in a rollover crash in the Christmas area. Okay. We'll look at this real quick, but let me just let the sheriff finish up. He's going to start taking questions, but I think you guys get the gist of the story, right? Oh, hold on a second, guys. Sorry. My bad. I don't know. I must be pressing the wrong button. Okay. Here we go.
Is also deceased. As he fled here, he was ejected from his vehicle. As that vehicle turned just miles away, he was thrown from that scene. That crash was identified 4 hours after the report here, largely because there was nothing visible on the roadway. It would be hard to even see the vehicle. It's just a dark area. If you go down Fort Christmas Road into Orange County, there's a pretty aggressive and significant bend where that is. It's likely he was fleeing in excess of 100 miles an hour, was not anticipating that bend, took the vehicle off the road and was ejected from that vehicle. He was located at that scene. A 16-year-old boy that was not involved, who was sleeping, it was here, was inside the house.
I mean, I'm not going to say he overreacted. I mean, I guess he wasn't open into, he definitely overreacted. Absolutely, he overreacted. But whether it was a hit it or quit it or a new relationship, he's probably like, they were together for 18 years. So, and they lived together as a family. So it's not even like he was a drop in for 18 years. They lived together for 18 years. The 16-year-old is their son. Just think, most of us are women, but just imagine you break up. There's nowhere that I would ever do that, but it definitely was a crime of passion because sir was pissed. Clearly, he broke into the bedroom. Man was in bed with another man, and his son is asleep in the house. I cannot. I mean, I feel I hate that happened to that lady, and it's unfortunate. We don't, but I'm gonna just say this too. Based on the relationship that they had, it's not clear that whether she had a date there or not, that he wouldn't have done the same thing. So I'm not going to say, it could have been the fact that she had company. It could have been the fact that he didn't, he was just coming over there to do it anyway. We really don't know because now he's gone.
I mentioned that the most recent domestic report
they've been going at it since they broke up
on November 6th.
So there was an event November 6th.
That's when a temporary injunction was submitted. What we know about the other unidentified victim right now, who had the one stab wound in his leg, he is being hospitalized right now. He is likely to make a full recovery. He has not been identified because of Marcy's Law. She recently met him through an online dating app. They had built a relationship over the past couple of weeks. They were together last night.
I'm not trying to be funny, but Sheriff, you could have just said this was a new relationship. They hadn't been involved very long. This appeared to be like a casual dating situation, or just, this was a new. Adding dating app to it gives it a whole different spin.
And then ultimately, after leaving the gym, potentially having dinner or something like that, he returned back here. The son, 16-year-old son, was already asleep by the time they got back here. We're thinking that they got back around 10 o'clock or a little bit after 10 o'clock, a couple of hours before the estranged boyfriend broke in through the glass window in the back, again, smashing the window, what looks like a hammer, immediately coming in, jumping on top of her, on top of the bed.
Yeah, it was
stabbing
that
her
gave him
numerous
the excuse
times
to do what he actually
when the other victim saw that, tried to kick the perpetrator off, was stabbed in the leg. He fled out that back door, went to a neighbor's house, called 911. Deputies arrived 4 minutes later. We're on scene, we assess, and we've been out here ever since doing forensic examination. Our team is still here. Again, no threat to the community, connecting the dots on all these circumstances and situations. Part of that is getting those reports from Orange County, making sure that we can identify, connect the two scenes now together.
Okay. So real quick, let me just show you guys this and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But yeah, this happened yesterday. It happened 2 days ago, I guess. It happened, maybe it was Friday. So today's Sunday. Let's say maybe this happened Friday night. Let me see if this will. Oh, I see what I keep doing. I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, I see what, because I was like, why do I keep disconnecting this? But it's flip-flopped on this computer. Okay. Can y'all see? But y'all can't hear.
X more than 70 times.
Y'all.
First, though, an insane homicide investigation in Seminole County. A man stabs his ex more than 70 times. Then he dies in a rollover crash just hours later. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger has the night off. Investigators tell us James Lindsay broke into his ex-girlfriend, Kristen Stevenson's Chuliota home and attacked her, stabbing her over and over again. Then
I just wonder, was he a Dusty? Like, was that her house? Or was he a Dusty? Like, was that her house and he was a Dusty? Or was that, because they said they had lived together as a family. I'll drop the link to the sheriff for the question and answer, but according to what the sheriff said, he had been living there for, they'd been together for 18 years and he was living at that house. I'm just wondering, I don't know, sis decided to have a sleepover and it's unfortunate this guy was already nuts.
Sped off and was killed in that rollover crash near Christmas in Orange County. News 6's Troy Campbell has been following this story all night. He has the latest.
The Seminole County Sheriff's Office remains on scene outside the home along Hibbard Trail. Inside a bedroom in the home is where they say the victim was found stabbed to death by her longtime estranged boyfriend.
Appeared to be stabbed multiple times up to, it was a horrific scene, probably up to 20, 30, up to 70 times.
Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima describing the horrific scene discovered inside this Chuliota home early Friday morning. Investigators say 40-year-old Kristen Stevens was found fatally stabbed on the floor of her bedroom. Detectives say just after midnight, the victim's estranged longtime boyfriend broke into the house in a jealous rage.
Smashing the window, looks like a hammer, immediately coming in, jumping on top of her.
Dude, this is a nightmare.
Investigators say the victim's new love interest awoke to Lindsay stabbing Stevens, so he attempted to kick Lindsay off of her when he was stabbed in the leg. That's when he ran to a neighbor's house to call 911.
She recently met him through an online dating app. They had built a relationship over the past couple of weeks. They were together last night, and then ultimately, after leaving the gym, potentially having dinner or something like that, he returned back here.
Sheriff
was probably following them. He looks crazy as hell.
And quickly sped away, only to crash and be ejected from his vehicle near Fort Christmas Road, several miles away. Investigators say Lindsay died at the scene.
There's a pretty aggressive and significant bend where that is.
He told all her business, right, Sherry?
In excess of 100 miles an hour, was not anticipating that bend, took the vehicle off the road and was ejected from that vehicle. He was located at that scene.
Court documents from November 6th show deputies responded to the home after the former couple had a physical altercation inside a bedroom. Lindsay was then ordered to surrender 21 firearms to law enforcement on November 20th.
Y'all, okay, I hadn't even seen all that. I didn't even have a chance to look up the court documents from November, but they're like, look how they have it spread out. Court documents show
20th, which he complied. Both
oh
Lindsay
my
and
God,
Stephen
they're telling all the business.
was at home at the time.
He's a person that has lost his mom and dad.
Now that is the part that's so sad for the young man. Hopefully he's got a nice family, and what a beautiful home. It looks like a nice home. I'm assuming it was nice on the inside. Very, very, very sad for this kid who lost mom and dad same day. Mom by dad's hands, and dad takes off down the road 100 miles an hour trying to flee and rolled over, spun out, whatever he did. Okay. A mess, right? Isn't that awful? Okay, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go, but I thought I was like, what a turn of events. Was that not just like, oh my God? Let's let the news story finish up. It's only
in
like
one particular incident, and words can't express the grief that we have as a community, as an organization, and we want to do all that we can.
Sheriff Lima says his agency requested Lindsay be monitored by ankle bracelet because of the November 6th incident, but a judge denied that request.
Ooh, no wonder Sheriff Lima wanted to be very specific as to the chain of events in case anybody is wondering, why didn't they protect this lady if they were engaging, if the law had to get involved on numerous occasions, and recently what happened. So thank you to the reporter who's clearing up that the judge denied the restraining order, and look what happened. Homie lost his
The
shit
second
and
victim
came
who
and
was stabbed in the leg is expected to make a full recovery. In Seminole County, Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
Ooh, okay. And they have dropped the National Domestic Violence Hotline. If you are in need of some help and some advice, 800-799-7233. Sad, sad, sad story. But I thought it was so interesting because what a quick since Nesto and Sonya wanted to talk so much about karma, sir, if you believe in karma, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? And or equal reaction. So sir went and did what he did, and he takes off like the fool he was in high speeds trying to get away because he had just murdered the mother of his child. And what happened? Baby, he didn't even make it down the road. Okay. So Nesto, Bougie Gang has answered your karma question. Okay. Now for the child, the 16-year-old, he's going to have to, unfortunately, have this burden upon his shoulders, but hopefully he has a good family, good supportive family, and can move on and and try to put some better days ahead of him after such an awful situation. The Tinder guy survived. Yes, he's in the hospital. Yep. Okay. That made me all of Nesto's like, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? Okay. That was on some, sir, we're not even, okay. The universe said, bye, sir. Okay. Bye-bye. Anywho, I'm gonna let y'all go. This was a fun evening. I'm so glad I got a chance to spend some time with you guys tonight. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to this channel and set your notifications to all so you can always be notified every time I go live, post a video, put up a community post, do all of the things. That's it. That's all. I'm glad you guys came through, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.